All right. We're gonna get started here in a second. I don't know what's happening. No. Excuse me. Oh, that's where I do it. Oh my God. Finally figured that out. Wow. Anyways, good morning, y'all. Feeling ourselves today. Why? Oh, for fuck's sake. My internet never wants to work whenever I do. Thank you, Matt. Smiling Matt. Thank you so much for the likes. Appreciate you. We're going to see how the live does because I just posted a video about Mike Johnson, but we're going to talk about the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. So we'll see who comes in here and wants to talk about work stuff and not politics. Obviously, we can talk about that too if y'all want to. But I'm trying to keep within the guidelines of TikTok lives. I don't want them to be mad at that. And they tend to get mad at me when I'm not fucking doing what they want me to do, which is sell products on their platform. Thank you so much for the follow, Smiling Matt. I appreciate you. Oh, and the roses too. You're so sweet. Thank you. Appreciate you. That is what a way to start my day. What a great way to start the morning, Matt. I appreciate you. And I figured out how to mirror my video today, y'all. So the people who will be watching the replay on YouTube, congratulations. It won't be backwards today. Isn't that wonderful? Anyways, I might go fill up my coffee while we wait for some more folks to get in here. Thank you so much. You got me to 100 likes within the first 3 minutes of being live. I really appreciate that. Helping boost the video, boost my small business. That's what we do around here. My hair has been doing some wild things. You're driving and doing chores, not engaging unless off the light. Okay, perfect. Please be safe if you're driving. You know, both hands at 10 and 2. Don't be looking at the phone. But thank you so much for being here. The Spotify is taking forever to get started. Good morning, Michelle. Thanks for being here. I think while I wait for a few more people to come on, I'm going to go fill up my coffee, warm it up, and I shall be right back. So, fun story. I went to this craft night last night at the brewery that I used to work at, but we have craft night every other, oh, thank y'all for sticking around. Every other Tuesday we do a craft night, so I brought one of my quilts that I'm hand quilting right now. And there was a lot of white people in khakis up in there, and it was kind of making me nervous. It's like, it looks like there's too many Republicans in here. And we can't have that. Why is Spotify... Okay, maybe we just won't have music today. And honestly, that's probably better because when I have music and then I like put it over on YouTube, like the replay, they're like, you know, if your account gets monetized, you won't be able to make money off of this video. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty far from being monetized on YouTube, so no worries. But if you have like background music playing, it's a hassle to either remove it in the hopes that if I do get monetized, I can make money off the video, or leave it and not make money off the video in the future if my account gets monetized. Between a rock and a hard place. Anywho. Oh, I hope Mama Matt is okay and that he's driving safely. Arrive alive, Matt. Oh, yes, coffee. All right, good morning, everybody. Let's talk about, and I do have a flash goal, I think, for these fuzzy hearts. I'm going to go ahead and pin them. Oh, they're hand hearts. Oh, can I do this? I don't know. I don't know how anything works. But I thought I was supposed to have the effect where if I go like this, it like makes hearts go. It don't, apparently. That's okay. We're all still learning about TikTok Live over here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started today. I have the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit here, and I shall... How do I pin a product? I don't know. Okay. I don't know if I can pin this product today. But I have the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit workbook that we have been working through every day on TikTok Live, every weekday on TikTok Live. So this is the workbook that I wrote to accompany the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. This is the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit workbook that you can purchase from my TikTok shop. Just click on my profile, click on my TikTok shop showcase, and it's there. And if you purchase it from TikTok, you will get this spiral bound workbook shipped to you, and you'll get lifetime access to the digital course, the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit, which is step-by-step videos that I created, tutorials from me, resources from me, all to help you set up and use QuickBooks Online for your small business. So if you're a small business owner, go ahead and tap that screen. Let me know where you're watching from and what type of business you have. I am here not only to work through the kit workbook with you, page by page, day by day, but I'm also here to answer any questions you have about QuickBooks Online, small business taxes, accounting and bookkeeping concepts, all of that stuff. Anything to do with the money that you make and spend in your small business. So that's a little bit about me and what we're doing here. Yesterday, we talked about the bank transactions tab in QuickBooks Online. We are currently in part two of the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit, which is all about data entry, reconciling your accounts, which we'll talk in a second about reconciling, what that actually means, why you have to do it, because yes, you have to do it, okay? Part two is about the data entry part. And not only are we learning how to do our data entry, but we're creating a lot of the automations and things that are going to save us a lot of time in QuickBooks Online, a lot of effort, a lot of money, all that good stuff, right? So, hello, Elizabeth Gabriel. Thank you so much for joining. Good morning. So yesterday we talked about the bank transactions tab in QuickBooks Online. We talked about how setting up these automations in the bank transactions tab accomplished two things. Number one, you are actually doing a lot of the data entry, and then you're also setting up your automations simultaneously. It is killing two birds with one stone, which is what we want. We want to save time and make things simple and easy for you to follow, right? We set up rules in QuickBooks Online, and rules are telling QuickBooks how to handle transactions that happen all of the time. So for most small business owners, you have your typical vendors, people that you buy from, stores that you go to, subscription fees that you pay on a regular basis. And we want to tell QuickBooks Online how to handle those transactions that happen over and over again. Good morning, Athena. Thank you for joining me on the live talking about the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. So yesterday it was about the bank transactions tab, getting your rules set up, setting up your automations, and killing two birds with one stone by doing data entry and automating at the same time. Okay, brilliant. I know, I didn't come up with it, but that's just how we roll in here. And at the very end of this section about the bank transactions tab in QuickBooks Online, I told you, this is what I tell all of my training clients, there's nothing that you do in your bookkeeping that we can't fix. There's nothing that you do in QuickBooks Online that you have irreversibly, irrevocably fucked up your bookkeeping. That doesn't happen, okay? I have spent many years doing cleanup projects for clients. Clients come to me and they have either months or years of bookkeeping to accomplish, or they're not sure why their bank balance is wrong and they need me to go in and see what's wrong and let them know how to fix it, or I fix it for them, right? So there's nothing that you can do in QuickBooks Online in your bookkeeping that we cannot fix. And most of the time it's as simple as just changing the category of how a transaction was classified. That's it. And so I tell folks, you know, on the trainings, I'm like, go ahead and delete transactions. And they're like, delete? No, I don't want to delete anything. They freak out. It is okay to delete things, delete transactions in QuickBooks Online. Thank you so much, Brittany Jaretsky, for liking the live. I appreciate you so much. And Amber's Game. Hey girl, how are you? Good morning. I'm going through the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit workbook with my TikTok live fam every weekday. Most of the times I do it in the morning. And I also post the replays over on my YouTube channel, All Ease Accounting. So make sure you're also following me on YouTube. There's nothing that you do in your bookkeeping, and you can ask Amber this, there's nothing that you do in your bookkeeping that we can't fix, right? Amber is a training client of mine, and she asks me questions all the time via email, and I love that because my training clients get unlimited lifetime email support from me once they've had a training with me. So you can just ask me like, okay, well, how do I recategorize this? Or how do I do that? And I always tell folks there is nothing you do that is going to ruin the bookkeeping that we can't fix it, that we can't change the category or correct it in some way, okay? And I tell y'all that so that you're not going to be afraid of making changes and doing things. Because if you're scared to mess something up, that just feeds into this procrastination cycle where you put it off and you put it off and you put it off because you're afraid of making a mistake. You're afraid that you don't know what you're doing. And we don't want that. We want you to get started with some simple, easy steps to set up your bookkeeping, to do some data entry, to set up some automations, and get the momentum for you to realize that, like, we're just playing around with numbers. We're just playing around with lists, little drop downs in QuickBooks Online. Click on the drop down, choose something off the list. That's all we're doing most of the time, right? When we're doing data entry. So that is the data entry part 2 of the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. And so if you are watching, you can get the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit from the TikTok shop. I will send you this spiral bound workbook. And you also get lifetime access to the digital course that I created, which is step-by-step video tutorials that I filmed and made for you on how to set up and use QuickBooks Online for your small business. So that is all about data entry using the Bank Transactions tab. We talk in part 1 of the kit about how to connect your bank accounts and credit cards in the Bank Transactions tab in QuickBooks Online. Make it easy on yourself. Don't be afraid to connect things and have QuickBooks and your bank talk to each other and have your bank imported, or your bank data imported into QuickBooks Online. Don't be afraid to do that. I walk you through how to set that up to make sure that you're not doubling transactions, you're not missing transactions, okay? So once we have your bank accounts connected and you're doing the data entry and you're rocking on, we talked yesterday about doing things in chronological order. We always start with the oldest bank statement for the time period that we're working with. So the example that I like to give, because yesterday was tax filing day in the US, is if you're working on your 2024 business bookkeeping, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate you. And you can also click this orange heart up here and send a heart me. That will help promote and boost the live. Bye, Amber. Yes, ma'am. I'm sure I will see you. I'm doing live Q&A inside the group this afternoon, so I hope to see you there because we can get some of your questions answered there as well. So, folks that are watching here, you can purchase the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit right now and get instant access to that community. I give you a 30-day free trial in the community. Like I was just letting Amber know, I do live Q&As once a month. So this Wednesday afternoon at 2 p.m. Central Time, I will be doing the live Q&A over on Zoom. So if you get inside the community, you can be on the call with me and get your questions answered live. And I post the live Q&A replay to the free group. So everybody can make an account inside the community. And let me pin that. Okay. Everybody can create their free account inside the Mind the Gap community, and I will repost the live Q&A that I'm doing later today. But the Q&A call is exclusive to members of the community. And when you purchase the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit, that's you, baby. You get 30 days free inside the community with me. So last week I had virtual office hours on Zoom, which is where people can just kind of come in and hang out with me for the hour. We can talk about life. We can talk about business stuff. We can get your QuickBooks Online questions answered. It is office hours, as if, you were in a college course and the professor holds office hours and you just go hang out with them, maybe get your homework done and ask them questions, okay? So when you purchase the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit, you get the 30-day free trial in the community to come hang out with me on virtual office hours, to get access to all of the monthly tutorials that I do that are extra bonus content tutorials for my community members each month. And I do one live Q&A each month as well. So you can set up a free account or purchase the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit and get access to the paid subscription of the community for 30 days. So that's what we talked about yesterday. Today we are going to talk about the next section, which is about reconciliation. And I do have a recommended podcast episode for you. I have a free public podcast called Money Through Ease. And for this section, we're going to point towards the podcast episode number 6 of Money Through Ease that is called What is Bookkeeping? ? Reconciliation, or reconciling your accounts, is a necessary step in doing bookkeeping. If you are not reconciling your accounts every month, or whenever your statement comes out for your bank and credit card accounts, which is usually every month is when those statements come out, then you are not doing your bookkeeping. Okay, I'm going to repeat myself. If you are not reconciling your accounts every month, then you are not doing your bookkeeping. Big difference between data entry and reconciling, which means that you're actually doing bookkeeping. You could just be doing data entry day in and day out, but if you're not reconciling your bank statements in QuickBooks Online every month, you are not doing bookkeeping. It is a very important distinction to make, and we're going to talk about why. Reconciling your accounts, here's what that means. It means comparing the data in your bookkeeping to what is reported on your bank statement. So if you have a financial account like a checking account or a credit card account or even a loan, thank you so much. Latrice, thank you so much for sending the heart me. Woo! So if you have a financial account like a checking account or a credit card account or even a business loan connected in QuickBooks Online, then you have a statement that gets sent to you about every month or on a regular basis. For most checking accounts, credit cards, I've never seen a credit card or a checking account that wasn't going to send you a statement every month. Okay, so every month you get your bank statements, you need to be reconciling. If you're not reconciling, you're not doing your bookkeeping, period. Okay, and those are my rules. I'm just kidding. Those are not necessarily my rules. Thank you so much, H, for the likes. Almost all checking accounts send you a statement every month. Like I said, Never come across a checking account that didn't send you a bank statement every month, all right? The same is true for credit card accounts. So what you're gonna do is log into your online banking account via the bank or financial institution's website. So log into your online banking, look for the e-statements that account produces each month. Okay, if you have money in an account anywhere, they have to send you a statement. Okay, they have to tell you what money is sitting in your account for a certain time period. That is what your statement tells you, right? So if you got money sitting somewhere, oh, thank you so much. You've been meaning to check out your live. My business needs so much work. Yes. Listen, I understand, and this is what so many people tell me. Oh, thank you so much for sending the perfume. I'm so glad you're here. Let me know if you want to chat about your business, what you do, what kind of bookkeeping you're doing or not doing. You know, do you have spreadsheets? Do you use QuickBooks Online, etc.? Thank you. All right, so QuickBooks Online makes reconciling fairly easy, okay? Especially if you're importing your transactions directly from the bank. So connecting your bank accounts in QuickBooks Online helps you out a lot. It automates a lot of the process of getting your data into your bookkeeping. Reconciling is where we check the math. You need help. Yes, of course, and I am here to help. So if you want to DM me, because we are mutuals, I believe, go ahead and DM me. Let me know what you're struggling with, how I can help you. I'm here for you, please. So QuickBooks Online makes reconciling fairly easy, right? Especially if we import our transactions. If you've got your bank account connected, we're good to go. Thank you so much for the likes. If you're importing your transactions directly from the bank, reconciling is going to be easy for you. Reconciling is how we check our math. Remember, I don't want to trigger anybody, but do you remember algebra class when you're solving for X and then your teacher was like, okay, now once you solve for X, plug that number back into the original equation, right? Because we need to check to see whether the answer you arrived at balances in the original equation. So some of you are probably like, Reagan, don't talk to me about algebra. Don't talk to me about math, okay? Thank you for sharing the live. I don't want to trigger anybody with memories of math class, but that's what we're doing when we're reconciling. We're checking our math. We're checking our work. We're making sure that our books are in balance. Yes, ma'am. So the goal is to get to $0 difference between the QuickBooks register and your bank statement balance, okay? So in QuickBooks Online, when you're reconciling, the goal is to get to the $0 difference, and there will be a green button. Thank you so much for the heart, the hand hearts. I appreciate you. The goal is to get to a $0 difference between the bookkeeping and like the QuickBooks Online register and your bank statement. And so it'll have a green button, which green means good, right? So we know we're in balance whenever we see that green button come up, okay? So I walk you through the videos in the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit, which is a digital course where you get access to this workbook digitally, but if you purchase from the TikTok shop, I will send you this spiral bound workbook that's so cute, and I love her so much. And you can write in her, and you can write your notes in here, you can fill out the charts in here, answer all the questions that I give you. But in the videos, in the course is where and I'm pointing towards my computer, not that y'all can see that. But in the digital course, I have the videos that walk you through step-by-step how to reconcile, okay? So thank you for liking the live and helping me reach all my beautiful clients and customers that use QuickBooks Online. Because y'all need help, okay? Do not purchase a QuickBooks Online subscription until you talk to me. First of all, so we can determine which QuickBooks subscription you actually need for your business. We're not paying more than we need. The QuickBooks Online Advanced, no, I did that, but I don't know anybody. I've never worked with anybody that needed the Advanced QuickBooks Online subscription, okay? It's like $200 a month. No, ma'am. No, 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 no. If it costs more than your phone bill, most small businesses need QuickBooks Online, Simple Start, or Essentials. And so I think Essentials is $60 a month, I want to say. Simple Start is $35, I think. Somewhere in that range. You should not be paying more than $100 for your QuickBooks Online subscription. Okay, and I'm so serious. If I find out that one of you has purchased a QuickBooks Online Advanced subscription before we talked, you're going to be in trouble. Okay, come to the principal's office right now. All right. Anyways, now that I'm done threatening you all, let's talk about reconciling. So reconciling is checking our math. It's making sure that our books match the bank statement, because what happened on the bank statement is what actually happened in real life, right? The bank on the statement is reporting to you what transactions happened in your account. Money comes into your account, hopefully, and then money leaves your account, probably more than it comes into your account. Oh, we just hit 1,000 likes. Thank you so much, Latrice. I thank you. So the bank is reporting to you on the statement, money coming in and out of your account, right? Money being transferred between your various accounts. So the bank statement is what we use to reconcile with our bookkeeping to see, okay, does my QuickBooks Online, what happened in QuickBooks, does that match what happened on the bank statement? Hello, thank you so much. Harleys? I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name, but welcome. Thank you so much for being here. So, the tips and the step-by-step tutorials for reconciling in QuickBooks Online are in the digital course. So, I'm not going to show you on TikTok Live how to do reconciling, but we are going to talk through my troubleshooting steps, okay? There are 5 steps to troubleshoot your reconcile. And the first time that you guys reconcile your bank accounts in QuickBooks Online, 9 times out of 10, there's going to be something that you're like, all right, Reagan, my account is not in balance. What's happening? So that's why I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these steps here in the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. This is the workbook. I walk you through these steps in QuickBooks Online, like in the video I show you where to go, how to do these things, but you and I are going to talk right now on TikTok Live about these 5 troubleshooting steps, okay? Number 1, simple data entry errors. And I do this every day, okay? I am always switching numbers around when I'm like typing them in on the computer. So yeah, there's no shame in it. There's no shame in having a small data entry error here or there. But more often than not, that is why you can't reconcile your bank account. So the first step, the first troubleshooting tip that I have for folks trying to reconcile in QuickBooks Online, check your data entry, okay? Make sure that the ending balance for your reconciliation matches the ending balance on your bank statement, right? Thank you. Yes, please DM me. And this is essential information. I'm telling y'all, do not get a QuickBooks Online subscription without talking to me first, okay? Get the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit first. Thank you. Exactly. This is essential information. So check your data entry because we all make mistakes, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it happens. So just make sure that you put in the correct ending balance from your bank statement and the correct statement ending date. So your bank statement for a business checking account is more than likely going to have every month as the statement period. March 1st through March 31st, April 1st through April 30th, right? Most business checking account statements are going to have that statement period be the first and the last of the month, okay? But if there is the end of the month, if it's on a weekend or a bank holiday, usually the statement will end the business day before the end of the month, okay? So you need to double check that you've put in the correct statement ending balance and the correct statement ending date. It's so simple, but this is so often the issue. So I have a training client who I taught her how to do her own bookkeeping. We've had a couple of training sessions together. She has access to the community. She asks me questions on email because all of my training clients get lifetime email support from me. So she was asking me one time, I cannot figure out why, for the life of me, that I can't reconcile my account in QuickBooks. I've gone through and I've checked off every transaction. What is going on? And so I hopped into her QuickBooks because I'm still an accountant user on her QuickBooks. And I just looked and I was like, all right, let's see what's going on here. She had put, let's see. Yes, she was reconciling 2024. She was reconciling her May 2024 statement. So guess what ending date she had put in? Yeah, she'd put in May 31st, 2025. Simple error. She put 2025 instead of 2024. It's a slip of the finger. Those two keys on the keyboard are right next to each other, right? Or the computer sometimes fills it in the date, like they think that they know what date you're trying to put in. Either way, simple data entry error. The second that I changed 2025 to 2024, her books were in balance. And she was like, all right, I'm a little embarrassed. You know what? It's okay. I do shit like this all the time. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. There's nothing to feel ashamed about. These simple errors cause us to be off, and it's just a little silly. But at the same time, it's a simple error and it's easy to fix, okay? So if you can't get your books to reconcile, first step, check your data entry for the ending balance and statement ending date. It's particularly important that we put the exact ending balance and statement ending date as they appear on your bank statement. For most accounts, the statement ending date will be the last day of the month, like I talked about, but sometimes the statement period ends on a day before or after the last day of the month. This is due to bank holidays or weekends. So that happens sometimes. Always, always, always make sure that you've put in the correct statement ending balance and the correct statement ending date. Okay? Easy peasy. Simple data entry error. It is a simple fix. So we start there with the most simple and most common issue with reconciling in QuickBooks Online. Number 2, troubleshooting tip for reconciling in QuickBooks Online. Check the beginning balance of your account in the QuickBooks Online Reconcile tab. Verify that your opening balance in QuickBooks Online matches your bank statement's opening balance. If they do not match, here's what is probably causing them to be different. A transaction was changed that had already been reconciled, and QuickBooks will tell you actually which transactions got changed and which transactions you need to go look at and make sure that they're correct. Okay? So sometimes if you're going back to a previous month that you already reconciled and you're changing something about one of those transactions, if you end up changing something or deleting something and then re-adding it back from your bank feed, that's okay. I tell folks, like, it's okay to delete stuff in QuickBooks Online as long as you make sure that you go accept it in the bank feed again, right? So if that happens, QuickBooks is going to have like this error message. It's going to be like a red error message. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, your opening balance is off. Here's what could possibly be going wrong. And I tell folks, okay, proceed with caution like normal. Go ahead and start reconciling again. Because if you did actually delete something and then you rematched it in the bank feed, you're good to go. If you deleted something, as long as you added that transaction back in correctly, you're good to reconcile. But what happens is when you deleted something and then you haven't gone and put it back in the correct way, that can cause your opening balance in QuickBooks to be wrong. Okay? So that is troubleshooting step number 2 for reconciling in QuickBooks Online. Step number 3 for reconciling in QuickBooks Online. If you get stuck, here's the third thing that you're going to try. On the reconcile screen that shows you the list of transactions where you have to select the transactions that are appearing on your bank statement, on that screen where you see the list of transactions, click on the link that says statement ending date. It will be at the very top of the list, and it is a filter button. So you're going to click the link that says statement ending date to remove that filter from your transactions. So sometimes you might have a transaction that was recorded in QuickBooks a few days before the statement period ended, but it actually didn't clear your bank statement until a later date, right? So clicking on that filter will show you if any transactions were dated after the statement that actually appeared on your statement, okay? So that filter, nobody ever thinks to look there, but like if I've already gone through steps 1 and 2 for troubleshooting the reconcile, step 3 where I click that filter and I remove that filter, then I can actually see which transactions are causing my bank balance to be off, okay? Thank you, Nathaniel, for liking, and welcome and good morning. Thanks for joining us. So, number 4, if you're still stuck, you've tried steps 1 through 3, reconciling in QuickBooks Online, you still can't get your bank accounts to reconcile. I want you to unselect all the transactions. Yeah, least favorite step for me personally, okay? And it's number 4 on the list. It's number 4 out of 5. Least favorite. I want you to uncheck all of the transactions in your list in QuickBooks Online, because now we do have to go line by line on your statement. I'm sorry to say. We got to go line by line on your bank statement and look for the transaction in QuickBooks. So your bank statement's going to have your transactions that actually happened in your bank account, and then QuickBooks Online has the transactions that you've entered into your bookkeeping. And you need to go transaction by transaction and select in QuickBooks Online, check them off as they appear on your bank statement. I know it sucks. Nobody wants to do this, especially if you have your bank account connected in QuickBooks Online and it's manually importing transactions for you. I know, but sometimes we go through steps 1 through 3 for troubleshooting and we still can't figure it out. So now comes the hard part where you have to go step by step, okay? And I don't like it either. But we got to do it. We got to check our math. So once you've selected all the transactions that appear on your bank statement, look and see if your balance is still off. Were there transactions on the bank statement that were not recorded in QuickBooks Online? So sometimes you'll see something on your bank statement and you actually never put that transaction in QuickBooks Online. And that's why your bank balance is off, okay? Or there were transactions in QuickBooks Online, but they didn't show up on your bank statement, but they had been selected to reconcile, okay? So doing this comparison, and I have 2 monitors on my computer, so I do side by side. I pull up the QuickBooks screen to reconcile, and then I pull up my bank statement as a PDF, and I put one on each screen. And I just look back and forth. You can also, and this is the old school way of doing it, old school. This is how I learned how to reconcile, is we would have the bank statement on paper. And I would put the paper on my desk, and I have a ruler that I would put on each transaction, and I'd check it off in QuickBooks, and then I'd slide the ruler down to see the next transaction. That way I knew where my place was on my paper, and I was clicking the reconcile screen in QuickBooks. So that is how I learned how to reconcile. So now I just pull up the bank statement as a PDF on my computer, and I put it on one screen, and I put the reconcile screen in QuickBooks on the other monitor, and then I just go back and forth between the 2. Okay. So we need to see if there are discrepancies between your bank statement and QuickBooks Online. Like, what's different? What's on QuickBooks Online that's not on the bank statement? What's on the bank statement that's not in QuickBooks Online? Going back and forth. I know it sucks. That's why it's step number 4 out of 5. Because we're going to try the easier steps first just to make sure that it wasn't a simple error that we can easily fix. Because going line by line, if you're a busy business owner and you've got like 200 transactions a month, that's going to take you a minute to reconcile, right? A minute to reconcile, right? TikTok. I'm back. Debbie from Florida, thank you so much for being here. Tell me, are you a business owner? Do you use QuickBooks Online? I am here to answer any questions that you guys have. I am going over the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. This is the workbook that goes with the kit. You can purchase the workbook from the TikTok shop and also get lifetime access to the digital course, okay? So that is pinned in my TikTok shop, or you can go to bookkeepingfoundationkit.com to check out more about the kit. Step number 5 for reconciling in QuickBooks Online. First, reconciliation for a new account. If this is the first time that you're reconciling your bank account in QuickBooks Online, here's what I want you to do. We need to check that the opening balance equity in QuickBooks is not causing issues. So here's what happens when you connect your bank account to QuickBooks Online. QuickBooks takes the opening balance from your bank account as of the date that you start importing transactions. Let's say you tell QuickBooks, here's my bank account, I'm going to connect it. Start importing transactions from March 1st. QuickBooks takes the balance in your bank account as of March 1st, and they do a journal entry. They do an opening balance entry to say, when we connected the bank account, here's what the actual balance of the account was before we start importing all these transactions. So sometimes if you are reconciling your account for the first time, you wind up with this issue, which is that the opening balance equity that QuickBooks has entered when you connected your bank account is causing issues. What you're going to do is go to your chart of accounts, which is a tab in QuickBooks Online. You're going to click on your chart of accounts tab, and you're going to go to the opening balance equity account. The opening balance equity account is on everybody's chart of accounts. If you use QuickBooks Online, it is a default account that they set up for you. So everybody should have an opening balance equity account when they look at their chart of accounts list. You're going to go view the register in your opening balance equity, and you're going to look to see what opening balance was entered for your checking account when you connected QuickBooks Online. You will see in the opening balance equity register all these transactions, and one of them will say your checking account, okay? And you need to make sure that that opening balance transaction actually matches the opening balance of your bank account as of when it was connected to QuickBooks Online. It might be off, okay? So that is the last troubleshooting step for QuickBooks Online reconciling. If you are trying to reconcile in QuickBooks Online and you're having trouble, you're going to go through steps 1 through 5 that I gave you on this video. And remember, this will be posted over on YouTube for everyone to watch the replay. So usually one of these steps will result in successful troubleshooting and reconciliation. If you're still having trouble, I want you to book a consultation with me. So I do have the link in my profile for you to book the consultation. You pick a time on my calendar. It's a $20 consultation fee, and we will work one-on-one and try to figure out why your bank account will not reconcile in QuickBooks Online. And usually it's a 30-minute call. Usually if someone's having issues reconciling, I can find right away what the problem is and get you unstuck on that 30-minute call. Okay, so that is going to be all from me today. Remember, we are working through, oh God, hair everywhere. We are working through the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit workbook together, page by page on TikTok live pretty much every weekday. So make sure you're following me so you can catch all of the lives and be here to ask questions and watch the replays on YouTube. So follow me on YouTube at All Ease Accounting and check out the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. You can go to bookkeepingfoundationkit.com and find out more about the course. You can choose whether you want the digital workbook or the physical spiral bound workbook. Either option you choose, you get lifetime access to the videos and the tutorials that I created for you inside the kit. Plus, folks who purchase the kit get a 30-day free trial inside my private community where I do a live monthly tutorial, I do a live Q&A, and I host 2 virtual office hours every month. So pretty much every week inside the community, there is something going on. Like later today, I will be doing a live Q&A over on Zoom with my clients inside the community. So make sure you're following me. Purchase the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit before you purchase a QuickBooks Online subscription. I'm so serious about that. All right, thank y'all so much for joining me today. If you have questions, drop them in the comments, follow me, send me a DM, and let's chat. Thank you for being here with me.